name is Leslie, and in my channel, I talk all about personal development, lifestyle, and saving hacks. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how to save money while you're apartment hunting, or how to lock in this best apartment rental rate as possible. So all the things I'm about to talk about are tips and tricks that I have done in the past or that I'm currently doing in order to save money in renting. Because we all know that renting can be very, very expensive and costly, and we're all trying to save as much money as possible with rent, because a lot of us want to save money in order to buy our future home. So let's get right to it. So one thing that really I have found that really has allowed me to lock in the best apartment rental rate is the time of year that I choose to move. So certain months of the year are more expensive than others. For example, if you move between the months of December through April, you're most likely to get the best rental rate because not a lot of people are moving. It's the holidays, it's cold, people aren't really moving around. So usually a lot of apartments have a lot of vacant apartments, so they're trying to rent them, so they usually lower the prices. And during the months of May through September, usually that's when apartment rates skyrocket because everybody's trying to move. It's summer. Some people want to get like a summer getaway. Students are moving back home. They're vacating their apartments, etc., etc. So make sure, if you can, to choose the time of year between December through April. Number two are application fees. So a lot of apartment complexes, I think mostly every apartment complex that I know of has an application fee. But sometimes these application fees can be waived. So one of the things that you can get the application fee waived is any promotions that the apartment complex is having. So number two are application fees. So a lot of times application fees can be reduced or completely waived if you meet the certain criteria. For example, in my current apartment complex, I was able to get the application fees waived for myself and my fiance because of where I work. I currently work for a big company here in Atlanta, and my apartment complex has a list of preferred employers. So it means if you or your roommate work for one of the preferred employers that the apartment complex has in their list, you're able to reduce usually like the application fees. So actually I didn't even have to pay no application fees, so it was completely great. So make sure you ask the apartment complex that you're looking at if they have a list of preferred employers, and that way you can get some sort of promotion. So make sure you ask that. A third thing is deposit. So basically every apartment complex makes you pay a deposit, and usually the deposit ranges from $250 as the minimum to a full month's worth of rent. And they determine this based on your rental history and your credit score. So make sure you have a good rental history. Make sure you don't have no evictions, and make sure you have always paid your rent on time in previous apartment complex. Because actually one of the apartment complexes that I used to live at, they actually called our previous apartment complex to make sure that we had a good record, make sure that we didn't have any complaints, make sure that we always paid on time. And then it also ran our credit score, and thankfully me and my fiance have a really good credit score, so we passed with flying colors, the credit score test, and the previous rental background or rental history, I guess you could say. So make sure you have those two good things in standing, because they will affect your deposit. So for example, in my previous apartment complex, we only had to pay a $250 deposit because we had a really good credit score and a good rental history. And then for this apartment that I'm currently living at, we actually paid $0 of deposit because of our rental history and our good credit score. So definitely guys, try to save money on the deposit. And then number four is to go to the apartment complex and actually tour it. Actually ask what the apartment rental includes. Does it include water? Does it include trash? Does it include some type of amenities? Ask what the rental rate includes, and also ask of any additional monthly charges. So for example, where I currently live, I have to pay $30 for valet trash, which is an extra charge that many apartment complexes do not have. But I do have to pay an additional $30. I'm forced to pay those additional $30 a month. Plus, I have to pay another fee for the garbage disposal. I think it's like 5 or 10. So I pay about $40 a month and like garbage and things of that nature. So some places don't have that valet trash fee, so I could have saved money. And also another thing that you need to ask about, some apartment complexes require you to have an alarm system. So if they do require you to have an alarm system, you have to take into consideration those extra charges. So in the apartment complexes that I have lived in the past and currently, they don't require an alarm system, so I don't have to have the additional fees, because I do have a friend where she lives in this place and they require her to have an alarm system. It's like an additional $60 a month. And also make sure to ask if you're required to have some type of satellite and Wi-Fi packages, because I know some certain apartment complexes you have to get a certain Wi-Fi and satellite package through them, and sometimes it can range to about $100 for Wi-Fi and satellite or cable, whatever you want to call. Thankfully in my apartment we don't. We can choose well, I think we have to use like Xfinity, but we only have to get their Wi-Fi if we want Wi-Fi. So we actually already had Xfinity, so it kind of worked out. But I know some apartment complexes are really picky and they require you to have cable and Wi-Fi. And to be honest, I don't really know anybody that really even uses cable or has cable. So it's, you know, an additional charge on top of your Netflix and Hulu or whatever, or HBO Max, whatever you're using. So make sure to ask about that. And also, number 5, make sure to ask about any promotions they have. So a lot of times apartment complexes are having promotions, so they are waiving the application fee, or they're waiving the deposit, or they're giving you 1 or 2 months of free rent. So make sure you ask the apartment complex of any promotions they're possibly having at the moment. You're able to save money, especially if you're looking between the months of December to April. You need to be locking in these promotions, okay? And also another tip that I have done in the past is to usually start apartment hunting about 60 days prior. And the reason I say 60 days prior is because a lot of apartment complexes require their tenants to give a 60-day notice that they're moving out. So if they're moving out in 60 days, then the apartment complex is able to put the extra vacant apartment room. And so you're able to see what's actually going to be available when you want to move in. So yeah, so make sure you go to the apartment complex and you tour and you ask everything they have and get the best rate as possible, so you can know what's up. And also guys, another super thing that has helped me a lot is to, like, if the apartment complex that you want has like a website, go in there or email the people and be like, hey, you know, what's your apartment rental rate? Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but apartment rental rates change on a daily basis. Like, they can change drastically. For example, where I'm currently living at, which is in Atlanta, when we came to tour this apartment complex, his exact room, exact location was running about $1,500 a month. And they're like, hey, you want to lock it in? And we're like, no, we'll just, you know, come back or whatever. So, you know, so we started looking at other apartments, and then about a week later, I went into the apartment complex's web page, and the same apartment was going for $1,285. So it was going for about $215 cheaper a month. So when I saw that rate, I was like, I am going to jump on in. So I saw that rate and I submitted my application and I got approved. So I locked in the rate for $1,285, which was excellent compared to the $1,500 rental rate that they had a week ago. So make sure you are checking apartment rental rates on a daily basis and check them at different times. Check it in right first thing in the morning, check them in the midday, check them at night. Keep checking. They drop. And sometimes it's drastically. Sometimes it's only $50. Sometimes it's like $300. But if you're able to save that money monthly, it'll add up. In a year, it'll add up. So make sure to check for that. But yeah, guys, these are some of the tips that have allowed me to save money throughout the years in apartments and apartment rental rates. And honestly, guys, apartment hunting can be a little stressful, but just push through. Make sure you ask questions. Make sure you ask about promotions. Make sure that you are constantly checking the rental rates every day, because rental rates can drop and change drastically. So make sure to be consistent. And I wish you all the best of luck in trying to find the perfect apartment for you and your family, or just yourself, or you and your dog, whatever it may be. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.